What are you hearing about the impact of COVID on HIV services worldwide? What's happening in your region, Linda?
Yeah, we're worried, Susan. I think I think it'll take a while for the real data to come out the other side. There's been some great presentations during this week, and the WHO obviously released some data. UNAIDS have it in their 2020 report. We have some immediate readouts, like how much testing has been reduced, how many diagnostics in terms of viral load measurements have gone down. So there's no doubt that services have been, used less. And of course, there's a worry about stockouts. 24 countries have put up a worry flag that their ARV stocks are running low. So that partly, I think, is because we did multi-month dispensing. So we gave out more at the beginning of lockdowns. But also, I think because of the travel restrictions, drugs aren't coming into country. So all of this, I think, raises anxiety levels. And I think we're just going to have to watch this really carefully. Again, though, the positive side was we saw some fantastic operational innovation of what people have done when they needed to make sure that antiretroviral and TB services were not interrupted. So, I think, again, it shows that we can innovate when we need to, which I hope will carry outside of COVID and say, how do we make these things more amenable and more available to more people around the world, regardless,
And what are you finding in the UK, Laura?
So we weren't hit as hard as we feared initially. I think it's fair to say, that there was a lot of contingency planning. HIV was prioritised from the beginning, so it's considered a core service. So we did things very differently. Most clinics switched to telephone, have deferred blood tests. And really, I don't think we're going to know until we come out of this what the pros and cons have been. I think people have been very happy in general when we've spoken to our patients on the phone. They don't want to come to clinics for blood tests. We've been able to maintain drug supply, and we're lucky that we've had enough staff to be able to contact people and still maintain urgent access. But I think what's acceptable now might not be in the future. And I think we need to, and I think it's given, the NHS the kick up the backside that it needed to innovate and introduce video technology and the like. But hopefully we will pause at the end of this, use our new technology and new ways of doing things. But we've got a blank slate, really, and I'm quite excited about how we can develop services and make it even more fit for purpose. I think we do a great job already, but I think we could do an even better job, and this will be the kick that we need to innovate.
Right, wonderful. And what are you finding, Lucy, in Kenya?
I think for us, other than the health aspect of it, where there's a shortage of drugs and dispensing is becoming shorter and shorter. At first it was at 3 months, now it's at a month. At some facilities it's even 2 weeks dispensing of drugs. And most women who are not on DTG already were not transitioned. So other than the health aspect of that and the fear that there won't be enough medication, there'll be stockouts, is the social aspect of it, where you find more and more people going through, how do I term this? Going hungry, facing hunger, facing losing their homes because they cannot afford rent. Social issues that are key for a person's appearance, like just having a meal or 3 meals to enable you to take your drugs well, or for mothers to have food enough for their children and for themselves, for them to be able to take drugs. They're just social issues that even if you try solving, you can only do so much. They're more structural than anything else. Yeah,
that's really worrying. Gus, have you had any virtual appointments?
Well,
what's your experience?
But actually, I've got my first virtual clinic appointment tomorrow. It just popped up. I mean, I'm completely stable on a couple of very powerful drugs, dolutegravir, darunavir, good stuff. So I'm only on 6 monthly appointments here. But you know, I'm not particularly happy about this. I mean, you know, they'll phone me up, they'll post me the drugs, but I want to know how I'm doing. So yes, I will not be happy not to have tests over a long period of time, even though every time I go, my doctor Mike Yule said, look, it's all in green, nothing wrong with you. Come back in 6 months. So that's great. But, you know, none of us can bank on that for forever. So I am really concerned about COVID impacting on the health of people with HIV. And like Lucy, I have seen surveys. There's been a really interesting UNAIDS survey, I don't think we've written it up yet, of gay men around the world. And a lot of them have lost jobs. A lot of gay men work in things like, you know, the leisure industry, hospitality, and 26% have had experience of having their antiretrovirals interrupted at least once because of the COVID epidemic. So it is of concern. One of my big concerns is that some of the progress we have made in HIV might go into reverse because of COVID.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, just from a sort of local view again, UK CAB, so the UK community organisation, did a survey of people living with HIV. And one thing that struck me was 1 in 10 people would not be comfortable to speak to their HIV clinic in their own home on the phone. And the assumption that people want to, and that it's more convenient. And actually, and again, maybe going forwards, it's about not necessarily having those calls at home, but in a sort of community hub or something like that.
Yeah.
But again, the assumption that everyone wants to speak at home. And I agree with Gus. I think making sure people are well, and the things we've been really concerned about of course, people's mental health during this time, social issues, domestic violence, screening for non-HIV issues, blood pressure and the like, you know, that a lot of that's going to have been missed.